All right. Yo, what's going on, TTO? I'm here with Mr. Michael Newkirk, and we are super excited to be here today. We're going to wait for some of you guys to hop on for a second and hang out. So if you haven't done so already, what you want to do is make sure that you are letting everyone on your team know. Oh, hold on. I had a moment for a second, but we're going to wait for you guys to hang out with us, and we want you guys to make sure that everybody on your team is hopping on right now. Getting customers and finding a system that works is really important for you, for your business, for your team members' business. So make sure you're sending out any last minute messages that you have to your team. It's really, really simple. The marketing system guys made it super simple for you guys to hop on Hanging with TTO. All you have to do is go to www.hangingwithtto.com now, and you'll be right on. So that's awesome. As you guys already know, we have so many team calls and such amazing training available for you guys. You should all stay plugged in. So I want to make sure you're aware of all the training that we have going on. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have our tip of the day call that starts at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You want to make sure that you and your team stay plugged into that. We also have a Monday opportunity call at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure that you're on that, as well as any prospects. If you're not hopping on, then you can't hear all the goodness inside of Janess, and you may want to join all over again the moment that you hear those calls. Plus, you get to hear all the value inside of that call as well. So make sure that you and your team members hop on that call, as well as your prospects. On Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a hangout that you and your prospects should get on. You'll have a link inside of your marketing system that everybody can hop on. You want to make sure you stay plugged into that and get your prospects on. When Sed does it, he gives away boxes of Instantly Ageless. It gets really exciting. You get to see Sed face-to-face, or whoever's doing the hangout face-to-face. Get some slides in there. A whole lot of value for you as well, so that you can kind of see what's going on, and you can see everything that Janess has available to you as well. So you want to make sure that you stay plugged into that as well. Every Sunday night, we have the Millionaire Mindset Call that happens at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you'll hear from Sed and some other leaders. Our last Millionaire Mindset Call was hosted by Mr. Michael Newkirk himself, who's here hanging out with us as well. It was an amazing call. Some things have been changed, and we have some customers that we want to make sure that you're getting, and we have a system that we want you guys to follow. So like I said, if you have not done so already, make sure that you are inviting every one of your team members inside of this training right now, because it's going to be awesome. Okay, if you're inside of Hanging with TTO right now, we have the ability to chat with you guys, which is awesome. You can ask questions, say hello. We want to know who's hanging out with us. We love getting the energy from you guys. So if you're inside of Hanging with TTO right now, you have the ability to comment, and we can see what's going on. So make sure you throw out a yo. Well, I'm going to say yo. I'm going to say throw out a yo at me, or a hello, whatever suits you best, right? So throw out a yo, a hey. If you have questions, make sure you put them in there. If you're getting value from these calls, you want to make sure that you're throwing it out there, because this is amazing training that's available for you guys. So, hey Amanda, hey Michelle, or yo, how you guys doing? One thing I want to make you guys aware of before we get started with Michael, and while you're getting all of the members of your team on, is just make sure that you guys know how to access all of the training. So I'm going to log into my marketing system really quickly, and I want to show you guys what's up. So I'm going to screen share for a second. I got to get close to my screen so I can see it. So face-to-face with you guys right now. All right, so you can see the back office of my marketing system right now. You want to make sure that everybody that you know has the system, and that they know exactly how to find the training that they're looking for. Right now, you go to your dashboard, and if you scroll down, you can see our new Janess customer training with the VP of Sales that Sed did with Lucy West. If you have not watched that, I would really encourage you to go back and make sure that you watch this training right now. The moment that you can, make sure that you watch this. It is really imperative to the growth of your business and to your team's business. We also have every one of our team training calls back here. So if you come right here, you can see, like, I'm kind of circling. I'm going to put my mouse on there. All of the Sunday night team training calls, all of our tip of the day calls, they're all recorded for you. So I'm going to click here so that you could see. And if you come down here, you'll see the last Millionaire Mindset with Michael Newkirk. We also have the tip of the day calls. Our last 2 Millionaire Mindsets were focused on getting customers. So you want to make sure that if you haven't listened to those, you have the ability to listen to them. Make sure you come back here and listen. All right, I'm going to come back to my face right now. So we have the marketing system for you guys. And as you guys know, systems work. You can plug people into a system. We talked about this on the Millionaire Mindset call last week about how systems work. And if you stay plugged into a system, you can pass that down. It's all about building from that system that you guys have. You can staying organized, time management, things like that are really hard. We have busy lives, especially as entrepreneurs. I'm a mother of 3 kids, 3 young kids. I have to stay organized. Our marketing system allows us to stay organized. Things that Michael Newkirk is going to share with us right now allow us to stay organized. It saves us time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but when you have a whole bunch of things going on all around you, you want to make sure that you use your time wisely. Every minute counts in a day, especially when you're running towards a goal. So you want to stay organized with some of the tips that he's going to give you inside of your marketing system, because staying organized is going to be key to your business and key to other people's businesses as well. We all know, if you could say you're the most organized person in the world right now, I'll hand it to you, because I'm not. And I know I require systems to help me do that. I use like different calendars on my phone. I have a planner that I use. I use the marketing system. We're going to show you guys trackers that you could use as well to help you guys stay in contact with your customers and things like that. So with that being said, I hope you guys got everybody on. I hope you're shouting out inside of Hanging with TTO right now that you're with us. Hey, Roger from Singapore. Mary is here with us too. Hey, Janine. Hey, Aaron, what's up? Thank you guys so much for joining us and shouting out on Hanging with TTO. We appreciate that. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you guys to Mr. Michael Newkirk. He is an incredible person. I had the opportunity to meet Michael in Vegas. We'll just give you guys a backstory. I kind of cornered him the first time I met him in Vegas. I know he's laughing and smiling now, but I was serious. He has a lot of experience, right, that we could all learn from. The moment, as an entrepreneur, don't you want to talk to the people that have experience in this business so that you can learn from them? I was just talking to Michael before this. It kind of took him a couple years to get to this point. We get to get it right now. You get to learn from all of that. Someone that has experience in this business that's more than you, or you can learn from anybody. This guy right here is full of knowledge. I know, I've seen it firsthand. And like I said, I cornered him in Vegas and I was dead serious, pumping out the questions. He was so kind to answer all of my questions. And he's the nicest guy. If you haven't friend requested him on Facebook, you want to make sure that you do. He's somebody you can really learn a lot from. He's a father, a husband, an incredible person. So Michael, thank you so much for hanging out with us on Hanging with TTO. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, Michael, you have a system that you've kind of developed and shared with us on the Millionaire Mindset call that we all pretty much fell in love with. So we want to kind of hear the details of that system and kind of how you derived it and things like that. So if you want to share and want to tell us a little bit about yourself, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Thanks for having me on here. And the call was fun Sunday. And, it was my first really opportunity to spill the beans, to the whole team and whatnot. It was a lot of fun. But if I haven't met you or don't know a lot about me, again, my name's Mike Newkirk, as we've made abundantly clear, right? Part of this since 2002. And I got started in my first network marketing company just like everybody else does. We were at a time in our lives that we were open to something else, or we were open to change. We were open to something. Circumstances led us there, and our window of opportunity opened. And whatever opportunity that fell across our lap at that time is most likely what we joined. So for a lot of folks watching this, Janess might have been the first thing. Like Cheryl, this was your first thing, I believe. But whatever, regardless, we all end up here really for the same reasons. We were looking for something, and it came across and it made sense. We were the right person at the right time of our lives. I'm no different. It just happened that at that time in my life that I was really lucky. As everyone here is very lucky that you do have strong leadership and mentorship that actually has a clue. I was really lucky in my first opportunity to be blessed, to be influenced by people that really understood what this business was truly all about, who it was designed to help, and how it needed to be built. They were kind of, my mentor, his name's Dale Calvert, had become really an icon before there were really icons in this profession. It wasn't an industry where you had a lot of trainers and coaches and all that. That whole industry didn't even exist to that point. It was about building an organization and changing lives. So I spent 1 year in that company before it folded. It was doing so well, it fell out of business. I looked for something else. And at that time, it happened to be a telecommunications company. I joined it in 2003 and struggled like crazy, my goodness, for years. And, so much so that I ended up having to take another job while I tried to build that, but I never quit. And what ended up happening for me is, over 12 years, my life was changed. I mean, it was just changed. I mean, it changed before 12 years, but I was in that program for 12 years. Long story short, the company was sold. It was public, and then another company bought them and essentially dissolved the network marketing channel. They didn't want to be in direct sales. They were more a company that just did acquisitions and absorbed customer bases and went on. And that's life, that's business, that's how it happens. But Cheryl, honestly, I didn't make the big money, the major success didn't come in my business until the last several years. 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5 years there. And up to that point, I was just like everybody else. I was excited, ignorance on fire, talking to everybody, every tip I could get, every call I'd be on. This guy said it this way, and I'm like, man, I'm missing the boat because that team is doing it that way. And then I'd go to Atlanta and I'd hear, because there would be some new superstar that just joined the company. I'd go to an event and they'd be doing a training, and man, they had it tweaked this way. And man, I'm missing the boat because they're doing it that way. I got to do it that way. And over the course of several years, it was like just putting Band-Aid on Band-Aid on Band-Aid. And eventually I figured it out because I knew I could make up in numbers what I liked and skill. But over time, and I hope I'm making sense here, I'm just rambling, but I figured out, I went back to the training that I had from my mentor in the beginning, and I figured out that, what I had done to that point and started to make some money, started to do pretty well, really came back more to a personality trait than it did by building a business by design. And I started looking at every profession out there, franchises, any franchise in the world, you look at them. If you look at any small business in the world, if you look at any large corporation, any business of anything, mom and pop deal, somebody selling on eBay, it doesn't matter. They all had a system. They all had a specific way that they built their business. You can take McDonald's, for example. When they have their marketing and their colors and everything, but they you walk in, the French fries are always on the left, the ice cream machine's always on the right, the cook is always in the back, the menus are always in the same place. The self-serve is over here for the Cokes. I mean, the recipes that they have never change. It's exclusive to them. And it doesn't matter if you go into McDonald's in Buffalo, New York, Wichita, Kansas, or Geneva, Switzerland, it's the same. Every business in the world has that kind of a structure and system to it of developing people and bringing people up the ladder to promote from people entry level up to CEO. Every profession out there, except most network marketing companies, where our development and training system industry wide, not every company, certainly not with us now, is basically get them in and go sick them. You know, that's kind of the whole thing. I mean, I'm so excited you're in the. I mean, this is how I used to deal with a new distributor, and great intentions on my part. I didn't know what I didn't know. I would get somebody in that was excited, and it's like, man, I'm so excited for you. Let's do a home launch party. Or I'm so excited for you. Let's do a conference call with everybody you know. Or I'm so excited for you. It's time to get in, man. You know, go out there and get some customers. You know, here's the product. Get on the training, and you know, go get them, Tiger. Let me know if you need any 3-ways. And then I look up, you know, 90 days, 6 months later, 9 months later, and those people are nowhere to be found. And I'm like, what's happening? Is it the company? Is it is my competition? My product just must not be very good, or, you know, oh, we got to tweak the comp plan, and I kept wondering when I got to the top of that company, and I'm like, how did I even get here? How did this even happen? Like, and I realized that the other guys on the stage with me were just like me. They were just that small percentage of the population that were so driven. The circumstances in their life were ideal at the time when they could just put it all in and just go through the numbers, make it happen, and they'd make money. And I realized that we could have done that in anything that we were driven to do. But our organizations in network marketing are not, by and large, made up of those types of people. They're made up of people like you, Cheryl, who's a mother of 3 children. You've got a career. You know, you're incredibly excited about the business, but you've never done this before, and you can't just, you know, you're not, you got a strong personality, but typically people that come in, they need that direction. They need to be developed. And what I started to figure out is when you looked at my organization, all the money was being generated because I was lucky enough to throw enough mud on the wall to where some of it stuck. And my business had become a lottery ticket of how many numbers I could go through, not how many people I could systematically and predictably develop.
Michael, I remember when we were in Vegas, one of the most powerful things that you said to me is people get on stage and they don't know how they got there. If you're a leader, you should be able to tell people exactly how you got there. And I said, darn, that's some powerful words. So that was really impactful to me.
Go around this profession in most companies and whatnot, and you ask a lot of people who've made like a high 5-figure, even 6-figure income, and you ask them, how did you do it? Most of them can't tell you how. They're just like, well, I worked really hard, or yeah, you know, I got in there and did it. You know, most of them can't tell you, but the reason that most of them did it is just because they're that 3% personality, which is great. But what happens is you have, I don't want to be politically incorrect, but it's an old saying. We had too many chiefs and not enough Indians, right? And everybody was doing it their own way. So can you imagine if you had McDonald's and every franchisee of McDonald's did it a different way? And they come in, they're like, well, I'm going to put the French fryer in the middle. You know, or you have one open up in Hawaii, and they're like, well, this is Hawaii. This is my market. I think we should serve pineapple burgers. And it's like, well, that just doesn't work. So it has to be, and I figured this stuff out by connecting, you know, back with my mentor and stuff. I'm like, look, the madness has got to end. There's a disproportionate amount of people that aren't succeeding. And it comes down to one thing. And it's like, well, what are you doing with people that join? I'm like, well, I'm doing something different with all of them. Well, there's your problem. So it just, you know, it got really, really ridiculous. And I started to, you know, to understand that stuff. And when that company got sold, we were rolling. I mean, we were doing some good things team wise, and starting to develop people. But I realized one thing, that success in network marketing is not about how many people you sign up. It's not about how many ranks you hit. And it's certainly not about how much money you make, because all those things are temporary and short-term motivators. Success in network marketing is all about how many people you develop. And I wasn't doing a very good job of that. And so I set out, my whole why in this profession became, I made plenty of money. How do I start to develop people that need this business to work for them? How do I give them the system to take them down that road? Because I understand my number one product is a well-trained distributor. And that's where a lot of this came out. And it was really good timing too, because now, you know, we're all on board with TTO, and a lot of this is coming out. Sed's putting the magic touch to it, and I'm pretty excited about it. So that's kind of, I guess I've rambled enough about that.
It was perfect. You didn't ramble at all. I got a lot out of it. Thanks. So tell us. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You were wanting to get into this system and stuff tonight. We can do that, and I guess what should I do first? We talked a lot about this, so hopefully everybody understands, I guess, the importance of it. You have to have a philosophy. I believe your philosophy has to be identifying the right people to develop. So if I can, I'll start with who we need to be identifying and focusing on, and then just give everybody the analogy of playing a game of catch. Everybody's played catch at some point in their life with a ball and a glove, and you play as long as each person throws the ball back to each other. So if I throw the ball to you, Cheryl, you throw it back to me, I throw it back to you. You throw it back, I throw it back to you. If your arm gets tired or you decide you don't want to play anymore, well, I guess we're done. And the business kind of has to be built that way when you're developing people. You can't just give people a manual, and say, here, go get them. Everything's there. Here's our system. I mean, could you imagine the military if, like, on day one of boot camp, and they're like, all right, everybody, here's the manual. See you in more like 6 months, right? And it says in there, get up 5 a.m. and run 4 miles. Like, how effective is it going to be? You have a system, but you don't implement it or train people or develop them, and you got to build them up. So that's the business. So figuring out who you're really looking for is this. There's 3 types of people. Now, this is not an exact science or math. So you fall personalities, green personalities. What was said, Colin? Would they be a wind or a water? Analytical.
Ice.
I forget. Ice. Yeah, there you go. Ice personalities. This is not an exact number. So if I'm a couple inches off, it's all right. All right.
Stress out.
So, you heard me talk about the 3%er. The 3%er is just the people that everybody knows can, whatever they do, they're successful. Have that skill, that mindset. They enter the profession with the skills, attitudes, and mindsets to make success here. But it wouldn't matter if it was this or anything else, right? You find a lot of people with high credibility or a big sales background getting into network marketing for the first time, and they have that personality trait. Those people are great, but they're going to go do it the way they want to do it. And so spend time trying to, hey, can I help you do 3 ways? It'd be like me calling Cedric, being like, hey, Ced, and I signed Cedric up.
Right.
But I didn't call Cedric and hey, Ced, man, you need to start doing it this. Ced knows exactly what he's doing. He knows how he's going to do it. And he needs support from time to time to get a few things done. But look, he's running it, and that's fine. That's great. But you don't need to spend any of your time trying to figure out how to motivate the 3%er. Let them go, and hey, I'm here. Okay. Kevin Jagir is a really happy guy. He's got a lot of 3%. Then you've got on the opposite end of the spectrum what we call the 70%er. Here's the really grim part of the business. The 70%er, most of them don't join, but the ones that do, they're like a sheep. You prick them with a pin, and it's and they're out. I mean, it's just the first time a family member says, oh, I can't believe you joined one of those things. Oh, did you give them any money? Oh, my God. I got a buddy that got one of those, and he lost his house. He should have taken the wheels off. But it's just they are going to quit. They should have never joined. And they're just that part of the population, guys, that are just going to die broke. I mean, and you have to get to a point in the business where you understand that's just one of those people that at 65 are going to be dead or dead broke, and there's nothing I can do about it except maybe turn them on to some personal development. They might change if they want, but you can't spend your time catering to the mediocrity, trying to figure out how to keep those people on auto ship, how to keep those people coming to the events, how to keep those people getting on the conference calls. Take their call. You want to hit the red button on your phone, but I'm going to hit the green one today, because if I don't, they're probably going to cancel their auto ship. It's just that group of people. You have to identify who they are, because they'll just suck your time away. We love them. Don't get me wrong. This is not an elitist personality or view, but there's nothing you can do. They're just, and we would have to be pretty arrogant to think we're going to change the laws of human nature. It just is what it is. So that 70%er, we need to identify who those are so that we can get definite closure. And for me, it's just real simple. When they stop throwing the ball back, it's just like if we were playing catch, Cheryl. Listen, I get it. Your arm's tired. If you feel like playing again, let me know and we'll play. And that's kind of how it is. Listen, here's our conference calls. I understand that right now your timing might not be right. If anything changes, man, you tell me and I'll be ready. And we get definite closure with them. Now, what's sandwiched in the middle of that is like what we call a 27%er, which is the person that, they have the desire of the 3%er in this business longer than 90 days, 6 months. They'll show up. They're determined, but they don't know what they don't know. They're looking for direction. They need skills developed. They need a system. They're not that person that can just go figure it out or has the gumption or the circumstance in their life like the 3%er who just is going to do it. They're that driven, right? But they're good people. They'll work. I mean, they'll do whatever it takes. They're not scared of their own shadow, but they need direction. They need to be developed. And that is really the secret if you want to build a long-term business. Find those people and then develop them. And so everything I've done has been to spend my time developing the 27%ers, 3%ers alone, and leaving the 70%ers alone. They'll do what they do, and then focusing in on that group, that core group of people, which honestly, most people in the business are that person that haven't had success but have stuck around for 6 months or whatever. So if you get that, then everything I'll talk about will make much more sense, because you'll understand that the systems are not built for everyone. They're built for the 27%er. The 3%er don't need them. They don't want them. The 70%er ain't going to stay around. So we focus on the people that need the system, and that's who we develop.
That's awesome. Right on. I can totally, I laugh because it makes so much sense. You can see those personalities in your own business. If you've signed people up, if the people that you talk to on a daily basis, it's almost as if you can pinpoint them out right away now, who they are. And it's not one's better than the other. It's just a personality. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's 70, 27, or 3, and 70s are great customers.
Mm-hmm. So, right on.
That. So do you think anybody wants to know, how I systemize my business?
I want to know. I know people are on here. They want to know. Do you guys want to know? Do you want to know how he systemizes his business? Because we all want to know. I want to know. Do you want to know? Wait, only Kirk, if we were in Vegas, I'd be like, tell me more. Tell me more.
Well, here's and first of all, if you've got something working and your team is growing and duplicating and all that, I don't mean to throw any confusion, into the mix. With that said, most people don't have great duplication. That what they have is every now and then they get a 3%er in who can go do a little bit and throw enough mud on the wall, some of it sticks. And if they're lucky, maybe a level 2 or 3 down, they might, if they go through enough distributors, they might find a 3%er here and there. But if we're honest with ourselves and we're here to develop people, not about finding people, it's about developing, right? So most of us don't have that. Personalities don't duplicate. Cheryl, I've watched your videos and they're phenomenal.
Thank you.
Can't do a video like you, and I never will. I'm not, way too country. I'm way too pale, and I'm just always going to be that way. Like, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to get a spray tan, and I've been trying for years to get rid of my accent, and it's just not going to happen. So I just I can't duplicate personality, and I definitely can't duplicate Cedric. So personalities cannot duplicate. We can pick up traits from who we're around, pick up, language, rhetoric, and verbiage, and inspiration. But I'm never Harris. I'm just not going to be. So us trying to duplicate our personalities don't work. Systems, though, do duplicate. That's why you can take somebody in my goodness, I'm trying to think of an obscure country, right? Brexit, we'll say Britain, right? And you fly them over to Los Angeles and say, you now manage this McDonald's. If they are already a McDonald's manager, then they walk in, and it doesn't matter that they're from another culture. They're from another, they speak with a different accent, wear different clothes, live a different way. They know how it works, and they know exactly how to manage it. They know exactly how to teach the new person how to cook the hamburgers. You're getting that. So for me, duplication all comes down to the system, and it's much more than just go get a customer and show them the website. It's saying the right things. It's knowing when to follow up, knowing how to contact someone, knowing the right questions to ask, when to ask them, and that sort of thing. So my system really starts with, and we do this with TTO, and so everybody knows a lot of this is going to be coming out of the TTO system. Sed's working on a lot of it, so I'm going to give you guys some of this stuff through the Facebook group, but Sed's putting some things together to tweak it a little bit because he's just good, and to make this stuff available where we can make it digital and not have to print paper out stuff. But right now it is what it is. So first and foremost, everybody probably most people are thinking, all right, well, what's my system of getting leads? Where do I find more people to talk to? Because that's where it seems to be the number one thing that everybody says, I got to have more people to talk to. That's not the number one problem in this business. We can go find people to talk to. Lead generation, simplest part of the business. It's understanding and having the skills to convert leads and take them down the road. So to me, it starts with why. I'm going to make this, if you have not read the book, Start With Why by Simon Sinek, you got to read that book. I mean, honest to God, you download the audio, read it.
Yeah.
But if you really, it ought to be like if they could pass legislation at Congress to somebody that wants to be an entrepreneur, like it should be required reading. Like you should have to read that and take a test.
Yeah.
To be that important. So Start With Why, Simon Sinek. But it is everything, and your why is going to evolve. But when I get a distributor in, it doesn't matter if they're a 370, 27. Look, the first step, okay, just like if I hired somebody.
First throw, playing catch.
I'm going to throw the ball. Time to do your reasons. Now, they don't do their reasons, then they didn't throw the ball back. That means they're probably. And that's fine. Listen, when you're ready, you let me know, put your reasons together and let go. And most people here have got that distributor. They got that one distributor in, right? They probably had to break their arm to get them to the meeting. It's like, all right, do your reasons. Oh, but he called me. He had somebody for me to talk to. He put me on a three-way with his family member. Well, I don't have your reasons yet. I can't do that three-way call. But they're so glued to the result rather than the process. But they're like, well, I got a guy. I mean, he's working, but he's not doing the right things. You're enabling. And so we're throwing the ball. The reasons count. And without the reasons, until you know why, the how doesn't matter. So it's just so important that they do that. But once we do have the reasons,
you carry you were telling me you carry the reasons around with you, right? Your why.
I do. I carry, and our system says, on that sheet, I carry the reasons in my wallet. I have one in my car, one on my mirror, and I printed one and put it on my TV too. So every time I turn it on, I'm reminded: is this what I'm watching more important than what's staring me in the face?
I know.
So unless it's like a Kentucky basketball game, it usually stays off. So, so that is that, and I preach that. When we see each other in Orlando, I should be able to. Cedric should be able to walk up to somebody and be like, hey, nice to meet you. I want to see your reasons. And they should be able to pull them out and say, here's why I'm in this business. That fools you as a leader too. How can I help people get what they want if I don't know what it is? So, and it goes further too. We talk about retention. So reasons are what we start with. The next thing we do is we launch their business. And we launched that business through, unfortunately, the gurus on the internet don't want me to say this, but we launch your business through your warm and their hot market. Why? Because statistically, those are the people that can help you. I will make a paradigm shift for a lot of people, though. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Chances of you knowing someone personally in your inner circle of people, unless you're just a career networker, the chances of you knowing someone that's going to be like a leader or superstar in your business are slim to none. Slim to none. But it's not about that, about who they can lead you to. And if you develop the skills and launch the business correctly, what you're going to end up with are customers, referrals, and referrals, and referrals, and referrals, which is the building block of your business. If you can learn that skill, that's the gateway skill. I know Eric Worre says that recruiting is the gateway skill, but to me, it's not. Retailing and learning how to launch a business through someone's market is the gateway skill, because that's the one duplicatable thing everyone can do. How do I do that? Well, it's real simple. I have my scripts. And in today's world, it's easier by text. If you text people, I mean, I can tell you exactly what I do, if you want me to invite somebody in my hot market. I send a simple text message. Says, hi, can you send me your mailing address? This is rocket, right? Kai, can you send me your mailing address? Now, is there any personality that goes into that?
No.
No. It's just, and then they're typically going to just give it to me. Or they may even ask why I want it. Well, simple as this. I'm mailing out free samples of a new product I found. You may or may not want to test it, but you'll for sure know someone who will. Again, it's not about them. So in my peer group, I'm 37. I don't have a lot of wrinkles. My friends and the people that I do whatever it is I do when I'm not doing Jeunesse, they're probably not interested in instant agents. You guys that are baby boomers and have had tremendous results and things with that product, it's people, it may be a little bit different. But again, it doesn't matter if my best friend wants instantly ageless. He has a mother, he has an aunt. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. The marketability of the product is what matters. It's not about me. It's about duplication. So, and he's going to say, okay, sure. So, and then he says, well, what is it? What is it? Great. I'll go ahead and send yours today. When you get a chance, check out this website, lookathereyes.com. In the 2-minute video, you can see for yourself what the product does. Let me know you want to receive the sample so I can walk you through how to use it to receive the full benefits.
That's simple.
That's it. And I'm sending out. Now, this is hot market. This isn't warm market. This is like that 10, 15 people, that we know you would accept nothing more than help, right? They're always going to do something for you. So that's that. Now,
But Michael, the second text message that you sent, can you say that again to me? Because I want people to hear exactly what you just said, because I think that's important.
Yeah, it just says this. I'm mailing out free samples of a new product I found. You may or may not want to test it, but you will for sure know someone who will.
But you will for sure know someone who will. Oh, I just love that line.
The onus off of us, they're curious. They want to know what it is. But then we're not painting ourselves in the corner. I mean, and tell me if you've had this happen. Early on, I would send stuff to somebody about Instantly Ageless or the Yes video, and they're like, what are you trying to do? Say I'm old? Silly stuff like that. If something can be misunderstood. So in this situation, we're approaching this from a third. Like, they might be interested. They're smart enough to be interested themselves by looking at it, but we're making this about, hey, you may not want to test it. You'll know someone who will.
Right on.
So I got 5 or 25 and send that to my 22-year-old buddy, and it gets better. Can I go to the next part? We follow up with them by simply sending a text message if we text them first, or just call them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, this is hot market, so I'm probably just going to go ahead and call them because they would take my call. So I would just say, hi, like, hey, what's going on? Listen, I called to get, I'm sorry, that's if I was calling someone instead of texting them. All right, the follow-up is different. All right, let me give you the follow-up. So I'm going to text them out. Oh, this is going to get good, guys. I hope if we go too long, just let me know, Cheryl. All right, so I'll follow up with this person, either email, Facebook, or text message, and just ask them a simple question. Did you get the mail from me?
Okay.
Right. Now, they're either going to say, yeah, I did, and indicate that they liked the product, didn't like it, who knows. They might, and if they didn't get it, it's just like, well, listen, I'll try back tomorrow. Right. But once we get confirmation that they received the sample, and what I'm sending is literally I have a letter here, a paper letter. The reason I did a paper, duplicatable, and I have a new distributor, right? And I don't have to have them wait to get the marketing cards and stuff. So if they say, no matter what they say, yeah, I got it. This isn't for me. I got it. That looks cool. I got it. Haven't opened it yet. It doesn't matter. I got it. I got it. I hate it. Doesn't matter. Right? They've indicated they received it. Here's what you say. Sounds good. Can I give you a call?
Perfect.
All right. Right. All right. So on the phone, great. We catch up. All right. I know you got the mail and looked at it. Who do you know that I need to talk to about this?
Yeah. I like it.
Knows what they're going to say. So there's only going to be a couple of different people interested in it, and they haven't tried it yet. This is what we say. They're like, well, that looks amazing. I want to try it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Most people see that video, want to see how it works on them. As long as you use it right, it works extremely well. I don't mean to rush you, but let me know when you plan on trying it. I want to make sure you use it right so you get the best results. And they'll say, well, I'll put it on right now. I'll try it tonight. Great. Make sure you dab it in. Even I can explain how to use the product. Okay. Great. Let's say they got it, they tried it, and they liked it. Real simple, right? Okay. We'll see that video. Try it right away. What did you like best about it? And they'll tell you, it did this, etc. Great. Here's my close, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
Cheryl, a 60-day supply is $1.25 a day. Would you like me to order you a box?
That's simple.
Do you want to put that on a credit or debit card or use PayPal? Complete the order. Do that. And I tell people to actually take them to the Jeunesse website and do the order themselves. It cuts down on errors and things like that. Now they might say, well, no, I don't want to buy any. It's just like that. Then this is what I do. No problem. Listen, everybody you know is eventually going to discover this product in the future. If you decide you want to use it, I hope you'll remember me. Can you do me one more favor? Who do you know that would like the results you got from the sample you tried? Pretty simple.
Yep.
All right. They give you a name. If they give you a name, well, my mom would love it. Great. Well, what's her number? I'll send her a message to make sure she'd like to try it before I mail it. And I want to get her number. Now, let's say I get somebody that tried it and didn't like it. And we've all had that, right? Problem, just curious, what didn't work for you? This is all scripted, guys. I mean, it's just, and they'll tell you, oh, I did this. Well, listen, did you follow the instructions carefully when you tried it? How did you apply it? Because most of the time when it doesn't work or they didn't like it,
right.
We want to try to, do that, help them use it right. But there are circumstances we know that some people don't like it. It is what it is. Nothing works 100%. So we're transparent. Well, listen, nothing works 100% for people. Nothing works for 100% of people. Most people have great results. Maybe 1 out of 50 don't. Can you do me a favor? If I sent you another sample, would you pass it on to someone to test the product?
That's nice.
All right. Now here's where it gets really fun. All right. They have no interest whatsoever. I just sent this to my 25-year-old buddy. All right. I ain't into this stuff. I mean, whatever. Listen, I honestly think that product would appeal to you personally. I was really hoping you'd just pass it along to someone else to try. Did you give it to someone? Oh, and here's where it gets good. This is the fun part. Oh, I haven't given it to anyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is my line. This is the line. Great. That's no problem. Who were you going to give it to? So immediately they start thinking, well, I was going to give it to this lady at work. She complains about her skin. Okay, cool. Can you do me a favor? Just pass it along to someone else, and I'll mail a sample to Judy at work myself. What's her phone number? I'll send her a text message to make sure she'd like to try it before I mail it. You see what I did there?
Yep.
most people aren't going to give it to someone right initially, but they'll tell you a name. It's like, well, do me a favor, give the one I have to someone else, and I'll just mail one to her personally. What's her number? I'll send her a message to make sure she wants to try it before I send it.
Yeah.
So, okay, and referrals, I would rather have the referral, to be honest. So that is the art of hitting your hot market. And some people are asking, why would you do? And people are saying, would you repeat? We're going to have all this printed out, guys. The scripts are going to be available, so don't worry about that. So that's hot market, and it's that simple. The referrals are the goal. So
do you send? Somebody's asking. So you do not send out the instructions with your sample? Is that correct?
I don't, if you have them in the card, yes. But the point of my letter, if you want me to read the letter?
Yeah.
Do you hear? Let's see. You can print out the instructions. That's one thing I didn't do. But my note says this. It says, listen, it was great connecting with you. Attaches your free instantly ageless sample. That's warm market. All right, hold on. We gotta go back to hot market. Talk about organization. My letter says, it was great connecting with you. I just started a new business, and I'm mailing out free samples of product that literally shocked me when I saw it in action. If you have not already, you should watch the same 2-minute video I saw at this website, lookathereyes.com. When I saw this, I could only imagine how excited people would be to experience the same results so quickly and the positive impact it can make for someone to look and feel dramatically younger with no effort and without cosmetic procedures. If you're like most people, you'll want to try the product yourself, but if not, would you please pass it along to someone? Fine lines, wrinkles, and bags disappear from their face instantly. Important, call me as soon as you get this letter so I can make certain you apply the sample correctly or explain it to someone you gave it to. The reason I put that in there is I'm trying my very best to get that person to connect with me before they try it. So that's why it's that way, and it is duplicable. So you print out the instructions, of course, but for me, it's more about getting it in their hand and having a conversation with them. And I can explain how to use it. I want to talk to them. I mean, I want to keep that going. So that's why. And then, as you see in the letter, it's basically, you could send this to anyone, whether they'd be interested or not. Remember, it's hot market. They're programmed to do whatever they can to help you, even if they're not interested.
Michael, can you kind of give us a little rundown on, I know we've gone through the hot market training, but just for those who don't know, who would you say your hot market is?
This is the closest of the close people to you, family, friends, neighbors. If you got a flat tire today and there was no Uber, who would you call that would come pick you up, help you change the tire under any circumstances? They do anything they could to help you. That person that you talk to on a constant basis, you have a relationship with. So that's hot market. Really, really, right. So that's hot market. Warm market's really essentially the same thing. It's just warm market is a step below hot market in the fact that the only difference with warm market is we're just going to confirm they're interested or would pass it on to someone if we sent it. We don't want to just blanketly send it out there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So market, it's really the same. I can read that to you. So I could call somebody up or send a message, of course. I'm mailing out free samples of a new product I found. Can you send me your mailing address? I can do that on Facebook. That's the first message. They're going to usually say yes or ask you why you want it. But when you get a chance, check out this site, lookathereyes.com. It'll play a 2-minute video and shows what it does. I was shocked when I saw this in action. You may or may not want to test the product yourself, but you'll for sure know someone who will. Simple as that. So I'm going to basically get to them once they've watched the 2-minute video.
Right.
Hot market, I'm just going to send it out. Doesn't matter because I know the person's going to help me. So once they've seen the video, it's pretty simple from that point on. How's it going? Listen, I know your time's valuable. I did call for a reason. That's if you're calling them instead of texting. The follow, much simpler. Okay. Let me get to your follow up here. Yeah, this is the best part. Okay. So 24 hours after that text message, this is where it gets more systemized as warm market. So let's say, Cheryl, I sent you the text message, and you said, "Yeah, here's my mailing address. What do you want it for?" Right?
Yep.
Go look at the video. If I don't hear back from you right away, 24 hours later, I'm going to send you a text message that says, "Cheryl, did you get a chance to see the video I sent you?" Hard stuff. You're either going to reply and say you did or you didn't. If you didn't, great. When are you going to watch it? We all know what to do. If I don't hear from you, all right, if I don't hear from you 24 hours later, I'm going to send another message. And it specifically says, "No rush, but just checking to see if you were able to watch that video."
Right on.
If I still don't hear from you, 8 hours after that, this is systems, right?
Yep.
8 hours, no response. Are you getting my messages?
Simple.
And then if I don't, 4 hours after that, here's exactly what I say. You guys hear people say, work your leads, work your leads. Look, you got to get closure with leads. I scratch people off my list. I know you're probably too busy right now to look at what I sent, but that's okay. I want to respect your time. So unless I hear otherwise, I'll go ahead and scratch you off my list. And you need to say scratch you off my list. Don't beat around the bush. Say those words. People don't want to be scratched off a list. It makes people move. You go in my TTO marketing system and look at the amount of people that I starred message to. I'm scratching you off my list. If I don't hear from you, I almost always get a message back or a call back. I'll go ahead and scratch you off my list and won't ask you to look again. Have a great day.
I know for me, for people on my team, I just, one second, I'm going to come in. Literally the term scratch you off my list has changed people's entire like follow-up plan and their response rate for people on my team. I know Marcy, for instance, she was like, I just started to use, I'm going to scratch you off my list. You have got to see the response. I know it works. Marcy knows it works. People on my team know it works. That line works. Use that line. It's perfect.
That phrase has made me more money probably than anything I've ever said. Nobody wants to off a list. And here's the thing: if they say, "Okay, that's fine," scratch off, they were never going to try the product and look at the video anyway. Move on, and it's fine. Okay, so you just get to that, and then again, yes, I watched the video, right? And it doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter. Here's the next thing. I respect that for sure. Can I give you a call? Rocket science, right? And once we get on with them, essentially it's the same thing. I know you saw the video, and they're either going to be interested. If they're interested, great. Here's what we're going to say. Most people see that video and want to test the product immediately. What's your mailing address again? I'll send the sample out today for you to try. We know that person wants to try it themselves, right? Let's say they're that person that's not interested. It's one of my buddies. Like, I'm not into this stuff, right? Well, that's great, man. Listen, I didn't think that product would appeal to you personally, but can you do me a favor? Sure, man. What's that? If I send you a sample, would you pass it along to someone else you think would like to test it? Well, sure. I probably got some lady at work or my mom or whatever. Great. If they even give me a name in that situation, I'll say this. That sounds great. Can you do me a favor? Just pass the sample I send to you to someone else, and I'll mail one to your mom myself. What's her phone number? I'll send her a message to make sure she'd like to try it before I mail it.
It's great.
Oh, it gets them every time. If I send one to, I'll send it to somebody. Then when I follow up, you guys know the follow-up. When I follow up, hey, did you get my mail? Mm-hmm. Yes, I got it. Great. Who did you give the sample to? Well, I haven't given it to anybody yet. That's cool, man. No problem. Who were you going to give it to? Well, I was going to give it to this lady, one of my customers that, was always asking me about, this. Great. Can you do me a favor? Just pass that sample on to somebody else, and I'll mail one to that customer's name. Can you give me your phone number? I'll send her a message to make sure she wants to try it before I mail it. Boom, referral.
Yeah.
Done there. We just flipped the table. So, in the warm market letter, essentially is the same thing. Now, here's the best part. Product referrals. All right. So what do we do with that referral once we get it? Real simple. I'm going to send a text message or a phone call or a Facebook message, whatever, or I might have to call them. I have a script for the message or the phone call. Okay. And by the way, guys, I've done all this. I actually bombarded my mother and her cell phone and went through her contacts. So they've got 37-year-old son contact them about eye cream. Interesting, but we made it work. but this is what I did. And then again, here's the message. Let's say their name is Cheryl. So you're my referral now, Cheryl. Cheryl, my name is Michael Newkirk. My friend, Stan Goldberg, gave me your info. He felt you would enjoy receiving a free sample and testing out our new product. Here's a 2-minute video you can watch on your phone or computer, lookathereyes.com. Please let me know if you'd like a free sample.
Wow. Simple.
Okay. Now they watch it and say, yeah, sure, I'd love one. Great. What's your mailing address? I'll send it out today. Please let me know when you get it so I can make certain you apply it correctly to get the full benefit. Okay, get their mail address, mail the sample. And if they're local, you can arrange to meet them, locally. If they say no, I'm not interested in that. I had one of my mother's friends. She said, that looks great. But to be honest, I really like my hard-earned wrinkles.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I said? Hey, no problem. Can you do me a favor? If I send you a sample, would you pass it along to someone else you think would like to test it? And typically they say, sure. Sometimes they'll say no, but again, we're just going down the ladder. Right. If they agree, okay, what's your mail address? I'll send it out today. Please let me know when you get it. Right. And then I follow up 4 days after I mail it. Typically the mail gets there in 4 days. And I'll say, did you get my mail? 24 hours later, did you get my mail? Are you getting my messages? 24 hours later, listen, I understand that you don't have time to help me out right now, and that's okay. So otherwise, I'm going to scratch you off my list. That's my system. And then basically, I got your mail, right? Great. And then we just go back to that. Who did you give the sample to? If they were somebody that wanted to try it, it's certainly, what kind of results did you get? But if that person didn't like it, didn't want to buy it, great. Who were you going to give it to? I was going to give it to my nephew or my niece. Great. Can you do me a favor? Just pass the along that I sent to you to someone else, and what's her phone number? I'll send her a message to make sure she wants to try it before I mail it. Referral. And now I get to that referral, and then I'll just go down the line and I'll just keep working that. And that's a skill. This is 90% of the business, to be honest with you. If you learn that skill, and here's the best part, I'm going to get a customer along the way. I'm going to get one. And I'm most likely going to get a distributor, because as soon as I get them, I'm going to say, well, listen, I follow up in 3 days. That's another part of the system we'll get to later, another day. But at some point, I'm going to end up with somebody who loves the product and who's like, and I get onto a webinar and they're like, man, I'm all about this. I'm retailing to recruit, right? Then I'm going to go back to the person that referred me to them and say, well, listen, Cheryl, I called you to thank you and to warn you.
Right on.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you because you gave me Sally's information. I sent her a sample. She put it on. Her lines disappeared. She's so excited. She wants to join our business. And I'm calling to warn you because she's going to make somebody a lot of money, because you referred her to me, I'm going to give you the chance to sign her up. If not, I'm going to sign her up myself. And now a little bit of fear of loss is involved, right? And then I'm going to go to the person that referred me to you. Hey, Cedric, listen, I called to thank you, warn you. Thank you because you gave me Cheryl's information and she gave me her niece's information. Her niece is signing up in the business. Now Cheryl's going to sign up, and I'm going to warn you because they're probably going to make somebody a lot of money. That could either be me or you. And then I'm going to go, guys, this is just a system. This is memorized verbiage, and there's science behind to scratch you off my list. Thank you, to warn you. Who did you give it to? Can you do me a favor? These are all just things that they just roll off your tongue, but that's a system. That's going into McDonald's and asking, would you like fries with that? That's going to Starbucks, want room for cream. That's our system. And this is not personality driven. You guys, it's that. And can you do this with the other products we have? Sure. Why am I doing Instantly Ageless? Because it's the hottest product to the biggest marketability and the simplest to use. And it's a wow product. It's not a me too. I just can't imagine a baby boomer watching that and not being like,
right.
Are there other products in the market that are trying to do what we're doing and copy? Yes. But it doesn't matter. They could have 100% market penetration and still 9 out of 10 people we talk to won't even have never seen any of it. So we don't need a new red wagon, red wagon. We've already got the fastest one on the block. That's why I'm going with that product. And then we can always systematically introduce the other products to people. People are going to ask, when does recruiting come into this? Well, that comes in. My system, but again, I'm throwing you and I'm teaching you reasons. Now I'm teaching you how to launch your business by getting the product out there to your warm and hot market and to get referrals. Once we built that skill, now we can start to recruit. We can go back to our customers and identify 7%ers who might be interested in making money. They can get it at a discount, those things. Eventually, the next thing that we learn to do is we learn how to recruit locally. Sid did a great training on local lead generation methods. So I'm going to teach people how to use postcards. I'm going to teach people how to do a local regimen each day of putting their cards up, getting people's information, how to create leads locally that are free and low cost. It's just my opinion that if you're new in this business and you're building something with a great product, you go across the street before you go across the country. That's just me. Now, it doesn't mean that you won't have things trickling in from the TTO marketing system and things like that, but your proactive efforts to create leads, in my opinion, you should master retail first, master getting referrals next, and then master local lead generation before you get online and start doing things like that. But that's part of it. We're putting in the system for retention, which we won't get into tonight, but we know now what to do with our reasons and how to identify, which we were going to talk about, the tracker, right? So we talked about that on Tuesday night, was the actual activity tracker. Now that we have that, that allows us now to really identify what we're doing on a daily basis, and see what our point requirements are. So we know when somebody gets started, they're not always just going to sell a bunch of product or sign a bunch of people up, but we know what activities lead to success. A consistent effort doesn't always yield a consistent result, but it always does create success over time. So by doing that, we're able to hold our distributors accountable and submit that each week so that I can see, all right, you went through this many contacts, you connected with this many people, you got this many products out, you got a couple of retail sales, you're coming down the road. They didn't do anything or they didn't submit one. Well, that's an indication that they're a 70%er. And if I have a distributor that doesn't submit that to me 2 weeks in a row, I need the slump time to intervene, which we're going to systemize that too. Cedric's all over it. So I've went in pretty much every direction I could possibly go in. The only thing I didn't talk about was, the personal development system, but that's totally different. The tracker is just something that goes along with building these skills. And that's it. So,
I know I sent Michael a message the other day of some people are seeing results from the system. I know I am. I know some people on my team are. We have the activity tracker. We've talked about this. A few of my team members know I want my team to play catch with me too. And I want you guys to want your team to play catch with you as well. Systems work. I'm all about systems. You guys know that. So for me, doing something like this, it's a great opportunity to get to know your people. First of all, you get to understand why they're doing this business and where they're coming from, and then to develop people, right? So you have a great opportunity in this. One of the things that I noticed about everything that's Michael's doing is the simplicity is genius, isn't it? Like being able to do something that's so simple is genius. And between the hot market, the warm market, and who you're contacting, the script only changes a tiny, tiny bit. So I'm sure that once you start the repetitive action of doing this, that you're going to get really, really good at, you're not even going to need the script, right? You're going to get really, really good at pumping out that information, sending those text messages, and knowing exactly who you're sending them to. Once you start doing it after a while, we're going to really start to understand who our 3%ers are, who the 27%ers are, who the 70%ers are. After you do things over and over and over again, and you have that system, We start to manage our own McDonald's. You can get really, really good at it. And when things are so simple, you can explain them simply, things start to change. I think, what Michael has developed here, if you haven't gotten your people to watch this, you need to. Part of our own system in TTO is tagging your team members inside of posts, is getting your people on the training calls, is getting your people to see what we have to offer. If you have team members and you haven't gotten them on the Hangout, why not? If you have team members and you're not exposing them to this information, why not? You want your team to grow with you. You want to develop people, right? What he just went over here can change your business, can change somebody else's business. There are a lot of 27%ers, even your 3%er. They want a system that works because they have to pass it on. Learn to play catch with your people. I know I sent Michael the craziest message yesterday. And I just said, Michael, I just want you to know how grateful I am for you, for the system that you're putting together. I really, really appreciate it. And so do some of the people that are on my team. I should have said they're playing catch. And it's great. I love playing catch. But look at this message. Guys, you should be absolutely grateful for the information that he has. He said it took him how many years to be successful in network marketing, to grow teams, to understand this system, to understand the how. Inside of TTO, we have some incredible people at our fingertips. Corner them in Vegas. No, I'm just playing. But understand what they have to offer. They're saying that this stuff works. It works. Use it. Get your people to use it. See changes. You don't want it to take you 7 years to figure it out. Hey, we'll learn from Michael's mistakes, right? No, really. Thank you so much, Michael. I just wanted to add that in there. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, no problem. One question, I think Claudia put it up here.
Okay.
Something for people to know. She asked if you were at a social event with friends, would it be okay to pass out the samples and instructions right there? Maybe just demonstrate on one person. Of course it is. That's just a lead generation method. That's just another way of getting eyeballs on what you do. What we're talking about systematically is launching a new distributor. But you wouldn't say, okay, the first thing you do is go to a social event and pass out instantly ages samples. We're talking about systematically launching somebody. Always go back to the McDonald's scenario. If you own a local McDonald's, you launched and opened that company the same way and you operate it systematically. But there might be an event at the high school, charity event, where you can go and set up and give samples away at chicken nuggets or something, and you're getting, foot traffic into the door to do a local promo. Of course, all those things still are incorporated into your business. Those are just techniques to generate leads and get eyeballs on the business, which we are saying that's the simplest part of the business. There are infinite ways to get people to look at the business. What we're talking about is the core system of launching somebody and teaching that skill. So absolutely, you would do that. You would take every opportunity, in the local lead generation methods, we can talk about what to do at like trade shows and booths. And, there's so many ways to create leads, but it's so important that when you know what to do when you have those leads. When you follow up with those leads, what to say to get where you want to go, to get the referral, to get the customer, to get them to try it. That's the important part. You can create the leads any way you want to create them, as long as you know what to do with them, what you got. And then when you get a new distributor, how to launch them correctly. So hopefully that makes sense.
Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. Guys, the training today, absolutely incredible. Michael Newkirk, I'm, so grateful for you. Thank you so much for taking the time out. You guys, one tiny tip I'm going to offer you guys. Maybe the scripts aren't available yet in the back office of your marketing system, but you guys got like the greatest sneak peek of a secret or something. It's like the secret sauce of McDonald's. You're getting it before it's actually out. You know that this stuff is going to be in the marketing system, right? You know that this stuff is getting ready to come out. You can watch Hanging with TTO over and over again and pause it and write it down. If you want the script, he just went over it. All you have to do is just rewatch it and write it down before it comes out. If you don't want to wait, I know. I would be doing something like that too. But we have all this stuff getting ready to be available to us. Keep your people plugged in. Stay plugged in. Share knowledge. If you want to be a leader and you want to build people up, then you will share it with them. You will share this information with them. Just as Michael has taken the time out to share with us, somebody's going to be very, very grateful that you shared this information with them. I hope you guys are as grateful for Michael Newkirk sharing this information as I am. I know that this is already, I have seen results. Already people on my team are seeing results. We talk about this and people are so excited. This is a game changer in your business. Embrace it. Embrace what he's given us. I think it's absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for hanging with TTO. Michael Newkirk, thank you so much. I don't know if you want to say a last few words, but feel free. Go ahead. Thank you so much. You're awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye-bye, guys.